We are recording. All right, I'm going to hand it over to you, Marie.
Okay. So I just want to say welcome. Thanks for checking in this webinar. We're just kind of sharing a bit about ourselves and how we got started and everything. So I will say, first of all, my name is Marie. If you've connected with me, then you know a little bit about me already, but I am a mom of two very busy kids, a 13-year-old and an 8-year-old, and I am married and just absolutely love the ability to be able to be around my family doing this business. So initially, I went through a couple different options, wanting to stay home with my kids, and what was happening right before I started coaching is I was taking in troubled teens. They were housed at our house and then going to a private school in town. So they were from quite far away. They were away from their families. They came with a lot of difficulties. It was extremely stressful. So that was actually when I decided to take on coaching, but that kind of had to happen over at the same time. And then I was able to, as I was starting to do coaching, we decided to let that go. And it was an amazing thing. Sometimes you just get into, different things in life. You start to realize like your relationships are falling apart, your health is not doing well, and you just have to try new things. And that's what it was for me. So I had always been an active person. I am a runner, and I just didn't know how to keep up with all of that in the winter. So I kind of fell off and didn't have anything going on after I stopped running in October. And then I was watching a friend of mine weekly as I showed up at swim lessons with my kids. And she was just getting like really fit. And she had 3 kids of her own. And I'm like, what are you doing that you're able to fit into your life and you're looking so great? And she told me about it. And she said she just works out at home and everything's all set up. And it's like a fitness program where you're told different days, you have different things to do. And I was just like, yeah, nah, I'm good. So I continued watching her for months and months and months. And then it just hit all of a sudden, it was like February and I was stressed to the max. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to give it a try. So I jumped into a group and I started to like right away see how wonderful it was to connect with people online. And I didn't have to leave my house and I was actually like motivated to do it, which I always thought home workouts like was not going to happen. So about 3 weeks into that, I went and watched some videos and a sneak peek on Facebook and learned a little bit about what the coaching thing was. I had already been talked to about it, but totally said no. But because I already saw differences in like my confidence and happiness and everything, I was like, I really actually just want to pay this forward. So I decided to start coaching before my first fitness program was even done. And within the first little while, I started to really pick up momentum. Some friends were really interested in jumping in with it as well. And it was great. I was so excited about it. And then something happened in May. So that was like February. So my family has a health condition, flares up from time to time. It was my son's very first attack that he had to go to the hospital for in May. And I previously remember being at a job. It was actually my first day at the job when my daughter was in the hospital. And she, I had to leave her there with my family, go to work. And it was just devastating. I hated the fact that I couldn't be there with her at the hospital. So then when this happened with my son, I was like just blown away with the fact that I had my phone with me. I could still do my work, but I could also be there to support him. And that's everything. That's seriously, and it's health, like it's a diet related illness. So very good to have the skills and motivation to keep eating healthy, not only for myself, but also for a good example for my kids. So they can stay out of the hospital. So that was like the thing that made me realize that this was going to be a long-term thing for me. I constantly, like, there's been some blips with my own health, and we moved and built a new house, had to be in an RV for 4 months, and then a condo because we had dogs and we couldn't find anywhere to rent. And all that time, coaching just came with me. I had a laptop, I had a phone, I could just bring it with me wherever I was. And it's a pretty incredible transferable thing. So some of the questions that I had, though, why I didn't sign up right away was that I thought I had no time. I literally was like busy all day. I had that teen, like all the hours outside of school. I had my 3-year-old at home with me full time. It was just like, I felt like I was falling behind on everything in life already. And I was like, I can't possibly take on anything else. But what I started to realize by meal planning, by getting exercise in daily, I actually was more alert, awake, happy. I got more done. And I knew that if I wasn't coaching, I probably wouldn't keep up with all of that. So it made time for me in the things that I tweaked in my life. And it really didn't take that much time because I wasn't driving to a gym, and I wasn't, like questioning like, what recipe am I gonna get this week, and then having to find all these weird ingredients, and then maybe it failed. So that time was made up. Right away I realized that that wasn't going to be an issue. I could make the time, I could stop watching TV as much. And it's amazing how you can free up that time. Another big thing was that I still have a hard time with public speaking. This is a little always awkward for me. Video stuff has gotten so much better. I remember the time I posted my very first video. It was so stressful, but I thought I was too shy for it. I was like, I can't possibly post on the internet. I don't know how to do this. Like, it just overwhelmed me. But it was the baby steps. Starting off in a challenge group, I would post things, and then we had, trainings, and we had a separate little team page, and we could kind of practice all those skills. And it's been almost 5 years now. I now can go up in front of a big group of people at our live events and talk, and I can do video calls with people like you guys. So it's not something that you have to learn night and day, but that was a big hesitation for me. And then, not me so much, but my husband was like, I'm pretty sure this is a pyramid scheme. What are you going to sign up for? So I really quickly Googled it and tried to figure out what the compensation plan was. And it's pretty cool that in this kind of industry that you can have somebody who signed up very recently do way better than somebody who's been around for 10 years. It really just depends on your own work and skill and all that stuff that you put into your business. And honestly, you only make money if you're actually getting people results. If you're like helping out coaches do well, then you make more money. So that is totally the opposite of a pyramid scheme where it's just making money off of signing people up. That's not at all the case. So I was very happy to inform my husband that it was a good financial decision, and he was on board after that, as long as I had the information to back it up. So yeah, I never looked back since then. So I'm going to turn over to Zita for her story. And I just wanted to mention before I mute myself that it's not showing the speaker. So I don't know if somebody has jumped on, but on my view or whatever, it doesn't show me. So I just wanted to say that.
Okay, so on my view, I do see you. And on my view, we're recording, so that's good.
Cool. All right.
But we will see what happens when maybe it'll wait until you mute yourself, and then we'll see if I pop up on the speaker.
So I'm muting right now.
Okay. All right. So it's still showing you in the speaker view, but that's okay. Hang on one second. I'm going to, okay. That's very strange. So you're still showing there. So I think I'll just switch it to the gallery view, and then at least you can, I'm in the middle here anyway on my recording. So Thank you so much, Marie. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Zita, and so I live in Nova Scotia on the East Coast. So Marie is in BC on the West Coast. So just totally off topic, one of the amazing perks about this business is just getting to meet people that you would not otherwise meet. We met through a common team page, which is one of the resources available to you. So anyway, that's just a fun additional little perk. So a little bit about me is I am a mom to two kids. So I have a teenage daughter, she's almost 14, and my son's almost 11. And I am a part-time single mom. So I don't have a partner, so I have my kids with me full-time half the time, and then half the time they go to their dad's. So, and I work full-time as well as an engineer. So like Marie said, I am busy as well, but coaching kind of helps save my life in terms of keeping me organized and keeping me on the ball and doing all these things that I thought I didn't have time for. So my story is I was never sporty growing up. I actually took dance lessons and all those things. A lot of good it did me up because I'm the most ungraceful person ever. But I was not sporty and I did not eat well. But I just had a high metabolism, so I never had a problem with weight until I hit university. And then, the weight just started piling on, and I knew nothing about eating healthy because I literally was the person that had like chocolate Pop Tarts for breakfast and all the 100-calorie, snack packs, and lived off chocolate bars and all that. So I knew nothing about eating healthy. So I went through all the diets, you can possibly try. I did all the different fads, and I would lose weight, I would gain weight. I went through that cycle. It wasn't until I was probably in my mid 30s that I discovered what clean eating was, but I didn't have any guidelines. I didn't have a group. I didn't have a support. And it was hard, trying to learn that and trying to learn like how to make all these meals, which to me had like 20 odd ingredients that I didn't even know what they were, right? So again, I would start and I would stop. So it wasn't until I found Beachbody and my coach and an accountability group that I realized like, oh my God, there's all kinds of people that do this and they make it easy, right? You learn how to plan and to meal prep and to cook clean meals. And within that group, everybody's sharing their ideas, their recipes, how they do it, their tips. And all of a sudden it's like this whole new world opens up, right? So it's that accountability that was just like a total game changer for me. And like Marie said, I just wanted to pay it forward. So for me, coaching's changed my life in a lot of ways. Number one is changed me in terms of my outlook. One of the things we do as coaches is personal development. So it's opened my eyes to so many different things. It's made me, a more open person, a more grounded person. It's made me realize all these issues I had that I didn't even know I had. So it's also, it's helped me financially. As I said, I am a single mom, so it's given me all these opportunities that I get to do things with my kids that I wouldn't otherwise be able to do. And so I'll talk a little bit more about that when I get into the income in a little bit. So very quickly, the questions or the hesitations and the objections I had at the beginning, I already really kind of touched on time. For me, the other one was, I don't want to be a salesperson and I don't want to have to push products on my family and friends. And yes, if you sign up as a coach, you are selling products to people, but you're also providing them with a service. So we don't just go around and reach out and sell products to people like a lot of other online companies do. They sell you your product and then they walk away. We share our stories on social media, and you'll get some training on kind of how to do that. Marie will talk a little bit about next steps. But really what we do is we just share our genuine excitement for these amazing products. It's kind of like, if you went to a restaurant and you had this amazing meal and you have no problem telling all your friends about it, right? About how great it is. Or you found this awesome new shoe store and you're like, oh my God, you guys, these shoes I found. So it's the same kind of idea. You share that enthusiasm online, you share your story, kind of how it helped you, and you learn how to kind of grow your social media following that way. So you're not just selling products to family and friends. So that was another hesitation I had too, was I don't have a huge social media following. I don't have very many friends on Facebook. I don't have very many followers on Instagram. If you decide to become a coach, we have training on that too. And there's probably so many things that you never knew you didn't know about social media. So there are tips and tricks and things that you can learn that help you grow your business, because this is, at the end of the day, it's a social business. It's about connecting with people, and people that have similar feelings to you, like that they don't have time to eat healthy, or they don't have time to go to a gym. And, we help them find solutions to those concerns that they have. So I think that's it for me for now. What I'm going to do now is hand it back to Marie. We're going to go back and forth one more time each. We're doing great on time. So I will mute myself and turn it back to you.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks. So what I'm going to talk about right now is pretty much what happens next. So we're talking to you, we're trying to give you information about coaching, but then like, what the heck happens if you sign up? So it's actually pretty awesome. As soon as you sign up, there's going to be emails like right from the company itself, and they have awesome training by themselves. But because of how awesome we are, there's also separate training, information, support directly from us. We literally will walk you through every step. We are there for one-on-one. We are there for group training, motivation, everything. So like the greatest thing is, depending on what pace you want, you might want different training. If you want to run right away, you definitely do different things every day than if you are just wanting to do it as a little like just to cover your supplies or stuff like that. So it's pretty awesome to be able to have people that you can do it with, that you can partner up with, just like we did, or you can have people that mentor you. So initially, when somebody signs up as a coach, they usually are joining in a challenge group. They're learning a little bit about the fitness programs and the nutrition, and then they can help post, or they can just sit there and watch how it all goes, and then they can eventually work up to running their own groups. So there's never a moment where you don't have support. It's really a learn as you go kind of business, and you need to find your own voice, but there's always going to be people at every level that can help you every step of the way. So that was a huge thing for me, because I literally like overthink it sometimes, and it's really nice to have people to bounce ideas off of, do groups with, and just kind of have people to be like, you know what, you probably don't need to like learn all of this. You might want to put your direction here, so that you're not just like running around doing whatever and wasting all this time and not actually building your business properly. So that's like, that was a huge selling point for me. And it's honestly as much or as little as you want it to be. Nobody's going to push you to do anything. It is your own business, but the resources are there for whatever you want. So I'm going to pass it over to Zita to talk a little bit more about the financial end.
Okay, so I have to do my due diligence and say that Beachbody does not guarantee any level of success or income from the Team Beachbody coach experience. Each coach's income depends on his or her own effort, diligence, and skill. And I'm saying that because, as Marie said, her husband said, oh, this is a pyramid scheme. It is not a pyramid scheme. It is a legal, actual business. And so there is no guarantee. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. You can work as little or as much as you want, and the amount of money that you will earn is reflective of how much you work and how many people you help. So, really, it's a business of heart and wanting to help people. If you get into this business because you think it's a get rich quick scheme, you're quickly going to fizzle out. If you get into this business for the right reasons, which is to help people, your business will gradually grow. So, as I said, what you make kind of depends on how much you work. As Marie mentioned, you can make more than your upline. Your upline would be, your person who brought you into the business, and your sponsor coach kind of thing. If they only work the business part-time or sort of as a hobby, and you dive in and charge full speed ahead, you can end up making more money than them. So it really does sort of depend on your efforts, right? So Marie and I both kind of started out saying, you know what, I'm going to just try this out. I'd like to cover the cost of my Shakeology or my performance line, because we have so many amazing products in addition to the workouts. And then, gradually as you start sharing your story and reaching out to people, you're covering the cost of your own products. And then maybe it becomes a bit of a hobby, or you can build it into a full-time income. So a little bit quickly about the cost to start your business and ongoing. It's a very minimal cost to start your business. If you think about like some companies where you're buying into a franchise or you have to invest in all these things, you're putting out thousands of dollars. Your cost to start your Beachbody business, you have two choices. You can either pay to become a coach, you pay $49 Canadian, $39 US, or you buy a challenge pack, which most people do anyway, because that's your workouts and your Shakeology to get you started, and then you get to enroll as a coach for free with the purchase of a challenge pack. So it's pretty minimal. Your ongoing fee is $15.95 US or $17.95 Canadian per month. So that's your business fee. Basically, that covers your Beachbody online office, which lets you keep track of all your customers and the coaches on your team. It gives you little links in there that you send to people when they're placing an order, but you do not have to handle any of the products yourselves. So people place an order and Beachbody manages all that. So that's part of what that fee is for, and they ship it out to people. So you're not handling and delivering product yourself. You get links to websites and you get some of the coaching that Marie referred to. So all of that is covered in your under $20 a month. So it's a pretty minimal fee. I'm going to talk very quickly about the different ways that you make money. So when you first start out as a coach, most of the money that you make is through commission. So we earn 25% commission on most products. So if somebody buys Shakeology or somebody buys the challenge pack, which is your Beachbody on demand and your Shakeology, you get 25% of that. So starting out, you're just bringing customers in, you don't have a team of your own. That's where you're making the majority of your money. As you start building a team and having other coaches join you, in addition to your commission, you get what's called team cycle bonus. So I'm not going to go into the details. It's a little bit confusing, but basically you have people underneath you, you have people on each side. Yes, it does look like a pyramid, but so do most businesses, right? That's what I always say. All businesses have like a CEO and they have VPs and directors. So as you bring people in, you put them on each side. So kind of go left and right. So as those people sell products, you as their coach get a portion of what they sell. And finally, there are also bonuses. So as you move up in the business and you hit certain levels, the first one would be called a 2-star diamond. We're not going to go into those details right now, but 2, 5, 10, and 15 star, you get quarterly bonuses per year, and they are quite substantial, like thousands of dollars. So those are the ways that you can earn money. In addition to money, there's fun stuff like prizes and the opportunity to earn vacations. So the prizes, you get things like, when a new program is launching, if you sign up so many people for that, you might get a tank top or a sweatshirt for that program. You get Beachbody swag, a hat, a travel bag, a backpack. So the prizes vary each year. So you have the opportunity to earn those. And then you also have the opportunity to earn trips. So this year, in just a couple of months, we're heading to Dominican. So both Marie and I have been to Dominican already 3 years ago. Then we went to Mexico 2 years ago. Last year we went on a cruise, and this year we're heading back to the Dominican. So again, as I said, none of those things are guaranteed, but if you work and you are consistent and you continue to help people get results, you can earn those things. So for me, those vacations mean almost more to me than the income, because as a single mom, one of the most important things for me to do is have quality time with my kids. And these are at like luxury places. So they're not places I would be able to afford to bring my kids on my own without this. So that's become a huge part of our lives. So that's just one of the fun perks that I love. So I don't know if you have anything else to add to that, Marie, about income or rewards or anything. As I said, I don't want to go into all the details now, but it gives a little bit of an overview.
No, I think that's great. I think this is like almost to the minute, our aimed amount of time. So again, thank you so much for jumping on and If you have any questions, please message the person who invited you to this, or if you're watching it later, the person who sent it to you, and I am 100% sure we can answer any questions you have. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and no question is a dumb question, for sure. Like, I had so many questions before starting. So yes, this is being recorded, and I will post it to YouTube, and then we'll make that link available so that people can share it to people. Awesome. Okay. Thank you guys so much for hopping on. Have a great night, and yay for us for keeping it on time.
Yes.
Okay, good night.